Okay, now I'm going to get a little help from my friends here, and John and Derek are going to play along with me, and I'm going to play through a couple of Dream Theater songs and show examples of not only how I played my parts, but how I came up with these parts. And we're going to show some songs that use odd time signatures so you can get some ideas of different feels and stuff and different applications for odd time signatures. So we're going to start off with a song from the Awake album called Voices, which is the opening riff that we're going to play through is in 9/8. And the way that I phrase the 9/8 here is taking a bar of 4/4, which is the equivalent of 8/8, and adding an extra eighth note. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to add an extra eighth note, so it's actually going to be counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1. So that's the idea here. So I'm going to basically the first part of this beat is just outlining that kind of groove, just counting a 9/8 in that kind of phrasing. So here it is. Okay, now I'm going to take that basic beat and add the splashes onto the upbeats. So it's going to be almost the same exact thing, but adding the splashes onto the upbeats. So here it is. Now this next example is sort of giving the 9/8 feel like a halftime groove. And actually, so the phrasing is going to be a little bit different. It's going to have a halftime feel, and I'm doing some double bass stuff, and I'm on the China. So here it is. And this last example from Voices is taking basically the same groove from the beginning, and I'm playing on the mini China. I'm actually playing one bar of 9/4 on top of 2 bars of 9/8. So it's kind of strange. My kick and snare is alternating 2 bars of 9/8, and on top I'm doing a bar of 9/4 with the mini China. So actually the first bar of 9/8, the mini China is falling on the downbeats, and then the second bar of 9/8, being that this is still steady and constant, it's actually on the upbeats. So it's turning around every other bar. So here's that example. Okay, the next song I'd like to break apart and show you some examples from is from the Images and Words album. This is from Metropolis. And this is the beginning of the instrumental section. And this song for us was a great opportunity to go nuts with odd time signatures and crazy parts. But anyway, the intro is a combination of 2 different odd time signatures alternating back and forth. It's actually 6/8 and 7/8. So you count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the way it's counted. So the first example, I'm actually just playing a beat that outlines those two alternating odd time signatures. So here it is. Now the second example from Metropolis is taking a phrase which is 6/8 and 7/8, and you add that up and you have 13/8. So what I did, like I was talking about earlier, is I took the sum of 13/8 and tried to come up with a different way to come up with that 13 while the guys were still playing in 6 and 7. So I took that 13 and broke it up into a bar of 4/4, which is the same as 8/8, and 5/8. So if you add up 8/8 and 5/8, you get 13, so it all works out the same. So here's an example where I was playing 4/4 and 5/8 to equal up to their 13. This last example from Metropolis is going back to the original feel, which is like a 6/8, 7/8 sort of thing, except I'm doing a lot of steady double bass work, and the 6/8 is more of like a 3/4 feel, which is the equivalent. So it's more of like a 3/4 and 7/8 feel. But what I'm doing is I'm playing the first set of 13, which it equals to, like with a downbeat feel, and then the second set is an upbeat feel, so it's alternating back and forth. So there's a lot of different polyrhythms going on all at once. So here's the third example from Metropolis. Okay, this last example I'd like to give, outlining odd meters, is from our latest release, A Change of Seasons. And this is kind of similar to the approach I took with Metropolis, where we have something that is the sum of 15/8 for the first verse of the song. So what I did is I played it broken up into two bars, the first bar being 3/4, which is equivalent to 6/8, and then the second bar is a bar of 9/8. So 6/8 and 9/8 is 15/8. Like I said, it's all arithmetic. So I'm playing a bar of 3/4 and 9/8. And like I said earlier, 9/8 is phrased in this way, like a bar of 4/4 with an extra eighth note. So here it is. Okay, now the second example from A Change of Seasons is the second verse, where we're still playing a progression that adds up to 15/8, but once again I tried to make my part a little bit interesting and different from section to section. So I phrased it in two groups of 6/8, giving it like a triplet feel, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I did two bars of 6/8, which equals 12/8. And then that left me 3, so I did a bar of 3/8 as well. So here's what we had. Now this last example, also from A Change of Seasons, is going back to the original feel, which was a 15/8 broken up into a 3/4 and a 9/8, but it's showing another way to play something, even if it's in the same time signature. I tried to get creative and phrase it differently and try something completely different. So this is going back to a 3/4, 9/8 feel, alternating back and forth, and a whole different kind of groove though. Here it is.